What if the car parked in your driveway could sip sunshine instead of gasoline? What if charging meant simply parking outside on a bright day, and the miles just piled up? No plugging in overnight, no stopping at a charging station, just endless motion powered by the sun. That's the promise behind what you're about to see. Because today we're diving deep into Aptera's newest solar-powered car, the one they say is finally headed into production. And we're going to ask the hard questions. Is this real? Is it hype? Or could this really change the game? The first time I saw it, I thought, this doesn't look like an ordinary EV. It looks like a rolling solar farm. The panels across its hood, roof, and fenders glinting in the sun, the shape so sleek it seems to slice the air before you even press the accelerator. It's from Aptera, a startup that's been chasing what many used to call a pipe dream. A car that can drive far while using very little energy. But this time they insist, we're going into production. And the potential is staggering. Imagine this. Your daily commute powered by sunlight. No plug-in at home, no long charging stops. Just turn the key or push the button and go, as long as the sun's shining. On paper, Aptera's claim is up to 40 miles of driving per day. Purely from solar energy. If you have a short commute, that might mean you never plug in. Just charge the battery occasionally. Let the sun handle the rest. But let's pause here. That sounds almost too good to be true. Because if you've watched the EV market closely, you know, promises of revolutionary always face the harsh reality of production, cost, infrastructure, and real-world conditions. That's why today we'll not only look at Aptera's newest car, we'll also map it into the broader context, the global EV trends, the solar mobility wave, the production hurdles. So you can decide whether this is the future on the horizon or just another futuristic concept. For nearly 2 decades, Aptera has existed more as a legend than a mainstream manufacturer. It was always about daring to ask, what's the most energy-efficient car we can build? What if we take weight, drag, wasted energy, all of that, and cut it almost to zero? What sets Aptera apart isn't just the solar panels. It's the obsessive focus on less. Less mass, less drag, less dependence on the grid. Their design philosophy says, if you can reduce the energy demand of the car, then the solar panels don't have to be gigantic. They just have to be smart. And now, with this new model, Aptera says they've got production intent, meaning the prototype is ready, the tooling is in place, the investment is serious. This isn't just a concept this time. At events I attended, you could see real manufacturing parts in use. Carbon fiber panels, injection molded components, in-wheel motors. So the question becomes not just, can they build it? But can they build it at scale, economically, and reliably? Let's break it down. One of the headline numbers, a drag coefficient of 900 point. That's astonishing. For comparison, many high-efficiency EVs struggle to get below 0.20. Every curve, every angle on this car is designed to minimize air resistance. Why does that matter? Because if you slice through the air with less effort, you use less energy. And if you use less energy, you can go further on fewer inputs, like the sun or a smaller battery. The body uses ultra-light composites. Inside-wheel motors reduce mechanical losses. The battery pack is smaller than many rivals, but here's the kicker. Because the car demands less power to move, a smaller pack still delivers a huge total range. Aptera claims up to prawn fatifam. 1,000 miles of total range. On the higher spec, that's beyond many luxury EVs today. Why? Because the whole system is optimized for efficiency, not just brute force battery size. The solar cells cover almost every surface. Roof, hood, even rear deck. They're designed not just for show, but to deliver real range, the up to 40 miles per day number under sunny conditions. It means your car can slowly recharge itself while parked without plugging in. Over time, that adds up to thousands of miles of free driving a year. Of course, real-world conditions vary, but the concept is serious. Open cabin, 2 seats plus cargo, a large infotainment screen, voice control, futuristic steering yoke instead of wheel. The driving feel? Quiet, instant torquey, gliding motion, futuristic aerodynamics visible from inside. Test drives reported people stopping and staring, because the shape is dramatic, the silence uncanny. Driving it feels like a preview of tomorrow, not today. Now, let's zoom out. Aptera is not existing in a vacuum. The global EV industry is accelerating, and the solar plus EV combination is emerging as a significant frontier. According to the IEA's Global EV Outlook 2025 production of electric cars reached about 17.3 million in 2024, a roughly 25% increase over the prior year. China remains the center of gravity, producing more than 70% of global volume. It shows the sheer scale of electrification underway. But beyond just EVs everywhere, there's a new nuance. Sustainability is no longer just about replacing fuel. It's about how you charge, where your energy comes from, and how you minimize loss. In other words, solar integration. Market research shows solar vehicle segments are expected to grow significantly between now and 2030. For instance, a 2025 forecast suggests a passenger solar vehicle segment will hold the largest share of the solar vehicle market that year, and BEVs will dominate within that. Another study highlights how solar PV and EVs are growing in near lockstep, like two partners in a dance. And in the sustainable EV trends for 2025, the integration of renewable energy sources, solar charging stations, vehicle roofs, etc., was specifically called out. What does all that mean for you? It means vehicles like Aptera aren't just curiosities. They may be early signs of a new paradigm, where the car is not only electric, but also self-recharging, at least partially, through the sun. Imagine a future where your driveway is the charger. Let's balance the hype with the real. The pros are obvious: reduced grid dependency, lower long-term operating cost, and smaller environmental footprint. But the caveats matter. Sunlight and geography affect solar yield. Production scaling is difficult for startups. Cost targets may be ambitious. And while the solar integration is strong, you'll still occasionally need to plug in. Even so, compared with mainstream EVs, Aptera's numbers are striking. Ultra-low drag, 1,000-mile potential range, and a base price under $30 could make it one of the most efficient and affordable options in the sustainable mobility space. We're at an inflection point in mobility. EVs are no longer niche. They're mainstream, and the conversation is shifting from "will we go electric" to "how smart, efficient, and sustainable can that electric vehicle be?" That's where solar-integrated vehicles step in. When a vehicle like Aptera comes along and claims to give you up to 40 miles daily from the sun, scalable into thousands of free miles each year, you start to ask, could the grid become less central to our driving? Could charging become passive rather than proactive? Could daily driving become less about plugging in and more about parking in the sun? If that vision plays out, the implications are huge. Lower operating costs, greener energy, less strain on charging infrastructure, fewer carbon emissions. The car becomes more than just a transport device. It becomes a self-sustaining system. So, should you believe the hype? For the right person, first, yes. If you drive a modest number of miles each day, live somewhere sunny, and want a radically efficient vehicle built for the future, Aptera could be the most sustainable car ever made. That doesn't mean it's perfect for every driver. If you go long distances daily, live in a gray climate, or want brand after brand backup and service, you'll want to weigh the trade-offs. But what is clear, the future of driving just got a lot brighter. Literally. The sun is free, the technology is advancing, and the cars built around efficiency rather than excess may win the next era. Are you ready for a future where you drive toward the sunshine? Drop a comment below. Could you live with a solar-powered car? What's the one thing holding you back from ditching gas or traditional charging? If you want more deep dives like this into the future of transportation, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks for watching. And, as always, drive toward the sunshine.